Welcome everyone to the 2020 Woodbury School of Business Convocation for graduate students in the MBA program. My name is Don Capner, Graduate Director and Associate Dean, and I want to welcome everyone today to this momentous occasion. We will be honoring several outstanding students and achievement winners, including Mark Hansen, Eric Johnson, Sandy Cook, Franz Schultz, and Student Achievement Award winners David Alexander, Camille Clemenson, Cami Preet, and Brandon Griffin. Congratulations to the winners for 2020. Today, we'll hear from several of our outstanding students who will speak to us. Our first speaker will be Win Ho Yi, 2020 MBA graduate.
Hi everyone, I'm Wing Ho, coming from Malaysia. When I was a kid, I always have problem understanding some basic English conversations, especially during family reunions, like cousins, they spoke in English and I couldn't understand a single word. So it's still hard for me to believe that I'm actually standing here to deliver a graduation speech in English. Studying abroad has always been my childhood dream, and I have been working towards it my whole life. It used to seem like an impossible mission to me because I didn't grow up in a rich family, so I learned that it would be my own responsibility to pursue my own dream. This is the first time I received my education away from my country. The MBA program at UVU emphasizes on two main aspects. First, interacting with real-world businesses so that the students can apply what they have learned in school into the reality. Second, working as a team. Most of our assignments were done in groups, which is similar to working together with coworkers in the real world. We are one of the most outstanding batch of MBA students because we had to work so hard so that the quality of our deliverables didn't get affected despite the pandemic of COVID-19. A lot of our projects had to be presented through video conference calls. That shows how capable we are to deliver and remain consistent under any kind of circumstances. The International Engagement Project allowed us to work with companies in all other countries, which was a priceless experience. We are very unfortunate for being unable to visit companies that we work for, either in Austria, Spain, or Costa Rica, due to the pandemic. Coming from Malaysia, which is located in Southeast Asia, is also a multi-ethnic city country. UVU makes me feel like home. I have always been able to meet people from all over the world. I feel so fortunate to be part of the MBA cohort. I thought I would experience some difficulties in group communication since I am not a native English speaker. However, I am so grateful that all my classmates are friendly and willing to help me all the time. Why did you choose UVU? Why did you choose Utah? Are the two most common questions I had to answer. In my opinion, it is not always about getting into a top-ranked university so that I can get a good job offer after my graduation. However, it is more important that I can prove my values by bringing up the reputation of a university. Similarly, I should not feel upset for getting a job offer that does not match my expectation. I am more willing to prove my abilities by bringing the company that I work for to the next level. I want to take this opportunity to encourage students from all over the world to be brave in pursuing their dreams, especially those who want to study abroad. It always seems to be difficult, but if it was easy, then everybody would have done it. If we never make the first step, then we will never move forward. To conclude my speech, I want to say thanks to all my professors and classmates, especially to Team 5 in my cohort and the Top Gun IT group. Thanks for the great times that we had over the entire year. I would like to say thanks to my boss, Mavis, who allows me to work and study at the same time, Matthew and Hannah, who guided me throughout the entire process of the application for the MBA program. And finally, my university where I finished my undergrad, University Utara, Malaysia. I hope that I make you proud by completing my MBA here. And lastly, my family and friends who are in Malaysia. Thanks for all the support that they have given to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Win Ho. We are proud of you. Next, we'll have a musical number by Megan Roper, 2020 MBA graduate. On piano, Claire de Lune by Claude Debussy. Our next 2020 MBA graduate speaker is Ramya Sarah Shanthakumar.
Happy graduation, MBA class of 2020. Here's my ode to all of you. Dreamers gonna dream and doers gonna do. We came to UVU with the dream to do. Finance, management, marketing, reign supreme. We took on this master feat and some days we felt defeat. When we walked in late to class cause parking didn't have our back. Submitting the paper late cause you looked at the wrong date. But most days life was fly, reading cases passed us by, leaving us to link a little deeper, a little longer, a little harder. And when we were confused, our teammates saw us through. From strangers to a cohort to friends we can't let go of. We learned and will keep learning and don't plan on ever stopping. Whether online or on campus, these memories are tatted. The semesters felt so long, but in a blink of eye, it's gone. Now we masters, climbing faster, thanks to all our benefactors. We'll continue hustling harder, and the journey we will conquer. These people and the knowledge we will cherish and acknowledge. And as dreamers, we will dream, and as doers, we will do. We love you, UVU, and this degree, well, that's cool too. Now that I have your attention, let's get down to business. See what I did there? Business, since I'm a business graduate. Get it? Okay, never mind. Thank you to the MBA department for giving me this platform to come into your homes, to drop some bars, and speak to these phenomenal cohorts who have inspired me throughout this journey. I want to start off by saying, you can do anything you want if you sexy. I know what you're thinking. She just rapped, and now she's singing that one line from that one song that's trending on TikTok. But why, right? But I only said what I said because obviously no truer words have ever been spoken. You can do anything you want when you sexy. And what is sexy? Intelligence. Intelligence is the single most sexiest attribute a person can possess. It is the concrete to changing your life, the lives of those around you, and in turn, changing societies and nations. And intelligence is exactly what we've gained through receiving our MBA. Over the past year, we have learned so much. We finally learned how to wash our hands. We figured out how to look alive right out of bed 2 minutes before class starts online. But the most prominent thing we've learned are the countless number of business models. From the 4 Pays to the 6 Sigma, from the pestle to the blue ocean strategy, let's face it, we have become indoctrinated. One thing that's true of these models is their applicability to us as individuals. We are literally walking, talking, breathing businesses ourselves. Think about it. If you apply a SWOT analysis on yourself, you could easily recognize your strengths and weaknesses, identify existing opportunities, and list out the external threats that stand in your way. Just like a business does, you market yourself, continually investing time and money to become better and stand out amongst your competitors. However, the most important thing you do, like any successful business does, is adapt to change. We have lived through a global pandemic, a worldwide lockdown, and shape-shifted our homes from a classroom to an office to a gym. To add to the mix, some of us got married, some of us had kids, some of us got dumped, some of us kept dating, some of us fought mental battles, some of us fought physical struggles, but we adapted. It wasn't easy, but we are standing here. Or let me rephrase, we're all chilling on the couch with a master's degree in business administration. Class was online, there goes my hat, but we chose to engage. We couldn't attend events, but we continued to network. We didn't have the face-to-face interaction, but we still developed relationships. Despite the extremity of the situations, we still attained what we were running after from the very start. The changes didn't define us, but the intelligence acquired along the way did. If we can deal with uncertainty and surprises within our personal lives, imagine how we can handle it within the corporations we will lead in, the businesses we will run, the companies we will consult for. There will not be a stronger group of business leaders than us because we know how to adapt to anything. Challenges will not face us. The MBA has fed us with applicable theoretical knowledge, but getting through this degree, facing the odds, and doing it with success has nurtured our skills of self-confidence, adaptability, and problem-solving, all of which is intelligence. As we part our ways and begin another chapter, may we always question everything, like Professor Olson. Emphasize the importance of the D word, depends, as Professor Skousen would say. Make people feel valued, just as Professor Milligan did in every one of his stories, and view marketing as a numbers game, like Professor Huff preached. This time was short, and the road ahead is long. But remember, UVU MBA class of 2020, you can do anything you want when you sexy.
Thank you, Ramya. I think I would have been more popular in high school if that sexy thing was working back then. We now will hear from our next 2020 MBA student graduate speaker, Mark Hansen.
The best thing about a virtual graduation is pants are optional. Grubhub is on the way, and naps are a serious possibility. So I'll try to keep things interesting. And I'm not going to start with the cliche about the real world now that we're graduating and what lies ahead. Because guess what? The real world invaded our living rooms and shut down the world economy. We are living in unprecedented times. National borders have been shut down, which hasn't happened since World War II. That was a big deal. You are living in big deal historical times. We live in hard times. Life is hard. So I say to you, decide to do hard things. 1 or 2 years ago, you decided to do a hard thing. You decided to pursue an MBA. No one ever says, oh, hey, you should get a master's degree because it's super easy, unless it's one of those scam websites trying to get you to buy a diploma for $1,000. The reason there's only a small group of us receiving advanced degrees today is because it's a hard thing. Early on, one of the things that the program asked us to do was informational interviews. Now, I'm betting some of you are cringing inside. I know initially I did too. As an introvert, that was a hard thing for me to do. But I want to say, thank you, professors, for making it part of the grade. Because if it had just been left as a recommendation of something that we should do, I probably wouldn't have done it. And I certainly wouldn't have the great job that I have today because of it. So while networking might be hard with social distancing, I'd like to paraphrase what the tour guide at the church where Martin Luther King Jr. preached while I was visiting in the middle of March 2020, right when the pandemic broke out. She said, with this virus, we're likely to discover we need each other now more than ever. No matter our background, skin color, or race. She spoke true. Speaking of the quarantine, has yours been weird? Mine was a literal kind of hell. While you were making oddball art projects, combating going stir crazy, I came back from that trip from Mobile, Alabama, visiting a friend, and ended up in the ER. My first thought was that I had the coronavirus. Over the next several weeks, I was in the ER over 9 times, tested for COVID 4 times, all negative, had multiple EKGs, chest x-rays, CT scans, and MRIs. All the while, the doctors thought I had a bacterial infection. I was having 4 to 20 movements a day and in 3 weeks, I lost over 35 pounds. Now, while losing 35 pounds might sound good to some of you, it is not a weight loss recommended program I would recommend. At 6'2" and 175 pounds, that was about 25% of my body mass. As someone who has never had more than a seasonal cold, I had no frame of reference for being sick for so long. It was like having the stomach flu that lasted not for 24 hours, but 24 days without an end in sight. Work and school projects gave me purpose and helped me get through some really bad episodes. Eventually, after 8 weeks, I was hospitalized when I failed a second round of antibiotics and the pain skyrocketed. At that point, I couldn't eat anything. And I was in a state of starvation. They put me on IV nutrition and did more tests, which eventually led to a diagnosis of Crohn's disease. Now, if you were like me and never heard of that before, it's an autoimmune disease, a chronic inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract. I looked online and discovered that this was an incurable disease, that part or all of my large intestines might need to be removed, and I would have to live with a colostomy bag, or the disease might kill me. At that scary, painful, uncertain moment, I didn't know what my future held. Life seemed to have gone crazy, both the world at large and internally, and I didn't know if I'd be able to finish my MBA. Now, after a surgery, things began to get a little better, and I knew that I didn't want to take a leave of absence from school. I wanted to graduate with the cohort I started with, on schedule. I knew it would be hard, but I made the decision to do a hard thing. A week later, after missing nearly half the semester and only studying for 2 days, and in a drug-induced stupor from my hospital bed, I took my econ final. Not very well, but I took it. A day later, I did a group presentation for our international consultation project with clients halfway around the world in my finest hospital gown. I was released from the hospital after almost a month and 3 days before my big 40th birthday. Yes, I'm a very non-traditional student, but that's what makes UVU great. This birthday was memorable, though, not because it marked when I was diagnosed with a lifetime disease, but because of the tremendous outpouring of support and generosity I received from friends, family, from coworkers, and complete strangers. During my recovery, my brother shared a short documentary with me about a businessman in Australia named Justin McLean who had cancer. Justin is a cycler. I also love to cycle, and I've always felt cycling as an elegant analogy for life. I'd like to share with you his words. Our lives are so much about plan Bs, particularly in the Western world, where we have risk-adjusted plans for risk-adjusted plans. So no plan B for me was all your chips on the table into beating cancer. And it just didn't feel right to be called a survivor. I didn't want survivorship. I wanted thrivership. Being a thriver isn't a word, it's a mindset, an approach. I unequivocally believe you cannot have glory without suffering. Suffering is intrinsically intertwined into the fabric of life. You don't get that fullness and understanding of glory if there has been no price. That's why I ride, because I wanted to feel good pain. I wanted to feel a pain that I could choose. Because the issue around cancer is you don't get a choice. It is bad pain thrust upon you from day one. Now, while you might not have Crohn's disease or cancer, I'm sure there are things in your own lives that you would rather not have dealt with. But remember, you can't change what happens to you, only how you react to it. That goes for the bad stuff, and the good stuff, and all the average stuff in between. So be a thriver. Decide to do hard things. When you get your diploma, remind yourself you did something hard, and then decide on the next hard thing and keep going. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. That was truly inspirational. 2020 has indeed been a difficult year. When you're graduating from an MBA program in one of the most difficult job markets over the last 100 years, difficult takes on an even bigger meaning. Because 100 years is such an important milestone, I went to my favorite centurion, Dr. Francis Bartlett Kinney of Jacksonville, Florida, for advice on how all of us as graduates can prolong our lives and experience a successful career. According to Dr. Kinney, who was born around the end of World War I, the key to staying healthy, wealthy, and wise relates directly to the power of positive thinking. It sounds too simple, doesn't it? Optimism is hopeful, positive outlook on the future, yourself, and the world around you. It's a key part of resilience or grit we talk about here at UVU. Fran told me her positivity and inner strength helped her get through tough times, and it will help you too. Dr. Kinney, Jacksonville University's past president and chancellor emerita, worked alongside me for over 7 years. Even though she passed away 2 months ago, I talked extensively with her prior to that time. She was clear her success and longevity was tied directly to her optimism. During a 2018 checkup at the Mayo Clinic in Florida, Dr. Kinney was asked by several of the medical residents if they could scan her brain. After the scan, she was told that she displayed brain waves similar to a healthy person in their 40s. A typical activity for someone, not atypical activity for someone 100 years old. Fran could remember wonderful stories about the places she visited and the famous people she worked with closely, including famous icons in U.S. history, such as Douglas MacArthur, Bob Hope, and international leaders such as Winston Churchill and Chiang Kai-shek. According to Dr. Kinney, her optimism helped her see more clearly, feel things more intensely, and more importantly, think positive about the possibilities for the future. But the power of positive thinking has extra benefits you may not realize, even if you're dedicated to a healthy diet or consistent exercise. According to Fran's doctors at the Mayo Clinic, her optimism helped her physical health in the following tangible ways. It was a secret ingredient to her long and productive life. So you don't have to be a born optimist, though, like Fran, to tap into that power of optimism. In our daily life, when faced with a crisis, you can choose to adopt a positive viewpoint. While Fran and I talked, she said to me, "You have to make the most of what comes your way. It's not spinning the truth or strategically misrepresenting facts. It's making lemonade when life gives you lemons." I asked Fran how I can make optimism work for me. You see, I'm someone who worries often and often sees the negative side of an equation. So Fran and I together came up with a solution we coined realistic optimism. Realistic optimism has worked for me, and I think it can work for you. According to research from WebMD, with realistic optimism, you don't just expect the best outcomes and hope that things go well, nor do you let yourself see and expect only the worst. Instead, you look at the big picture. You take the good with the bad, but unlike a constant worrier or pessimist, you decide what's realistic and then expect something better. Find the courage to be a positive example to those around you if the result throws you back or barriers or roadblocks pop up. Decide what you can do to make things go as well as possible. Choose to focus on positive alternatives. Remember your strengths and talents as you go forward. As an example, let's say you have a knee injury. So you have a knee surgery so that you can run again, but you choose to be optimistic about your recovery rather than letting fear or hopelessness take hold. Imagine how you want to feel 6 to 12 months from then. Picture how you want to be doing, how you want to move around after surgery. Keep those positive, hopeful pictures in your mind. That positive attitude can help you not only have a positive mood, but it can help you with healing and heal faster. Optimism alone isn't the only part of a recovery. It's also important to know what to do, such as physical therapy, exercises, and what to be careful about. Like me playing basketball with my friends on the 3-on-3 court. If you need support or advice, you can plan ahead with the right people before surgery. When practicing realistic optimism, remember to keep a flexible frame of mind, expect change, and be ready to adapt to it. When you're having trouble with negative thoughts or expecting the worst, feeling powerless, practice any of these exercises for at least a week. 1, focus on what's going well. 2, write down 3 things that went well each day of the week. These can be large, like getting a raise, or small, like I cheered up an old friend today. Describe the cause of each event and credit yourself for even a small part you played in it, such as that phone call I finally made after putting off for a long time. Practice gratitude. Write down 3 things in your life you are grateful for. This kind of focus can enrich your life and keep your thoughts feeling more positive. Look for the benefits that you provide others. Think of a negative event from your near or distant past. Write it down. Now think of something positive that has or will come from that experience. For a positive thought, use a larger handwriting or your favorite color. Look ahead and picture yourself doing something that feels good and expect good things to happen. Build yourself up. And when you need it, lean on others or your faith to build more strength. Say to yourself often, I am strong. The second key to Dr. Kinney's long and healthy 102-year life was her intellectual curiosity. Even after earning a bachelor's and master's degree, Dr. Kinney was always keen to learn new languages and cultures and explore new areas. She successfully earned a PhD and wrote her dissertation in her non-native language, German, long after her schoolmates were done and never going back to school. In 1961, she became the first female College of Fine Arts dean in the world, and in 1979, the first female president of a university in Florida. Later in life, she wrote memoirs, Iowa Girl, The President Wore a Skirt. She never retired from JU. She continued to stay engaged with students and deans such as myself and other people from all walks of life. Despite all the stories she could recall, she always brought back the conversation to you and your career aspirations and dreams. Her intellectual curiosity and optimism were the distinguishing factors that she credits for her long life and success. I'm trying my best to practice realistic optimism every day, and I encourage you, 2020 MBA graduates from UVU, to do the same. You might not live till you're 102, but you'll never want to check out or disengage. I want to thank everyone for being part of today's ceremony. I want to thank our speakers and those who participated. And I want to, again, say bon voyage and good luck, and continue to connect with all of us in the staff and faculty at UVU. We are proud of you and look forward to the future news and success that we expect from all of you. Thank you.
Andrew Earl,
Ashley Smith,
Brandon Griffin,
Brian Miller,
Curtis Porter,
Jacob Flake,
Jimmy Baxter,
Mark Andrew Gordon,
Zachary Beck,
Michael Lund,
Stefan Oberlander,
Taylor Darren Wright,
Alex Phillips,
Alexandra Hara,
Eric Johnson,
Garrett Hadley,
Joel Hartwell,
Rudy Umba,
Bailey Carlson,
Camille Clementson,
Dave Alexander,
Grant Lamont,
Jose Rivas Cruz,
Wade Barber,
Alan Miller,
Alyssa Ellsworth,
Benjamin Webster,
Cassandra Neal Christensen,
Clark White,
Deborah Sina,
Derek Smith,
Kevin Lynch,
Nathaniel Mills,
Sandy Cook,
Wing Ho Yi,
Brandon Orm,
Jan Renee Jardine,
Jeffrey Wright,
Nathan Lawyer,
Noelle Marie Baldwin,
Megan Roper,
Cami Preet,
Cole Warnick,
Jordan Stamps Jones,
Mark Hansen,
Ramya Sara Shanthakumar,
Ryan Adam,
Seth Houston French,
Stephen C. Rigby,
Aaron Caprio,
Daniel Carrick,
Franz Schultz,
Jacob Brueggemann,
Lindsay Talbot,
Tyler Canova,
Carl Yoklik,
James A. Reber,
Jennifer Jericho,
Landon Johnson,
Pejman Mesdaghi,
Spencer Brian Powell,
Carlo Voss,
David Grimm.
Congratulations, MBA Class of 2020.